there are two, maybe three groups of people on this earth that I think have the most knowledge. You have your elders, and then you have the millennials. The millennials, I think, have this nice little balance of old, new, young, back, forth, before, beyond, after. We have that nice little balance because we're kind of dead smack in the middle of everything. We were here for like the new age technology, and then we were also here for like before that actually hit us full-fledged. You know, some of us might have been young, but then there was like older millennials who were definitely there. Like, I remember AOL, I remember dial-up, I remember cordless phones, I remember house phones, and then I remember when cell phones, and then I remember texting when actually you could push the buttons on the phone, flip phones, and then how we went to like full-fledged digital. Okay, I remember that whole course. I remember the little time period before 9111, and I definitely remember, you know, TV kind of shutting off at a certain time. I remember TV being on all the time. I remember when cable was more of a thing, and then now people, you know, prefer subscriptions. You know, I remember a lot. I remember when kids were mainly outside to not seeing kids outside at all. Just like I remember Devil's Night, and I remember when it turned into Angel Night. So it's a lot of in between that has happened. And I really feel like because millennials sat in that in between, we have so much knowledge, because by the time we got to our teenage years, everybody started telling all the truth about the world. We were the information age. The information age hit hard. Okay, so for one, Unsung came out. Every single documentary about every single artist, about every single criminal came out. Every True Love, CIS, all the TV shows about basically telling the world about what's happening. We had Discovery Kid, PBS Kids, PBS period. News, we had a million news outlets. And we still had newspaper, we still had magazines, and we still had books. We had really good libraries and really great schools. So all the information was there, given to us basically. And when I say that makes us one of the smartest groups, I say that gave us the biggest opportunity to be the most knowledgeable, because we remember the war on drugs, but we also remember this is your brain on drugs. A lot of us remember going from, you know, this is a bad thing to it's okay if you smoke this because of these healing properties and why. We went from, you know, seeing ladies on the night on the street to anyway. All I'm saying is that we are much more knowledgeable now than our previous generations. And we, you know, we have the knowledge about food, we have the knowledge about what's right and what's wrong, about pesticides, about how things are made. You know, we grew up with the Reading Rainbows and the Sesame Streets and all of that was showing us how things were made. Like, now we can hop on TikTok or any other informational like platform, and we can learn about the different dyes and why our food don't taste the same and this, that, and the third. The generation after us, not after us, the generation before us, much more before us, like grandma, great grandpa, they're also the most knowledgeable folks when it comes down to the world as it is, because they remember a time where technology, electricity, and, you know, things of that nature was not here at all. Like, they literally had to make do with what they had, which was the land. They're the first group of people who learned how to get a house, how to get a car, how to make a car, how to deal with any type of crisis, how to make nothing out of something. They knew how to work the land they lived on to make food. They understood. They didn't, you know, they had different appliances, but for the most part, everything was them. How to make bread, how to can goods, how to, you know, just build things, how to build a house. They had all the knowledge with less of the schooling. And at some point, they got all the schooling They know about racism because they lived it. They know about the separation. They know about the presidents that came before and the government and how it warped and changed. They lived through Agent Orange. They lived through the different wars. They know what to do during wartime. You know, they understood how to keep in touch with people uh, without cell phones. They understood how to navigate the world with a map. They understood how to use a compass. A lot of people know how to go to the woods, and they know how to camp, and they know how to build a fire, and they know how to tell when the water is going to rise, how to get to higher ground. They know how to work the earth. They know how to read the stars. So this is what I'm saying when I mean they are like the most knowledgeable and the smartest generation. Because if you put some of these other groups in the middle of the forest, the older generation might be better off surviving than some of everyone else. And you know, they are generally our Google. The older generation is our Google. There are AOL, there are dictionary, they are a thesaurus, they are, you know, our library basically. There are history makers, they are history writers, they are our archives. The older generation are our documents, they are our computer basically. And I find it crazy that a lot of people do not reach out to the most knowledgeable group of people that are alive right now to figure out how to navigate the world we live in. Because if everything's shut down completely, there's only one or two groups of people who know or have the knowledge to survive, because they've already done it. I couldn't even imagine living this long and seeing things from the 1920s to now. They are our cookbooks. They are our exercise gurus. The elderly is literally where we get our rule books from, you know? And I don't know where this conversation is going. I'm just sitting here talking. I'm just sitting here thinking, I miss my grandma. And I miss talking to like my elders, because we were around them just as much as we were around our parents and our sisters and brothers. But I feel like we got more knowledge from them than our sisters and brothers and our parents, because we watched them. We watched them cook. We watched them farm. We watched them, you know, knit and sew. We watched them still be the head of the household, even with our parents. Our parents started to venture away from what our grandparents were doing. And then our sisters and brothers were venturing away from what our parents were doing. So a lot of the older knowledge is within the elderly. And I really just feel like you should sit down and talk to your elderly while they're still alive. You really should take like a recorder and save as many recordings as possible and ask as many questions as possible, because that's how we stay being the most knowledgeable group of people that are alive right now, is by going back so that we know what to do forward. Because as of right now, going backwards seems to be natural. They seem to know how to work within what God gave us, versus today we walk around this earth and we don't even notice the color purple, and we definitely don't even know how to make it. Like, literally the eyes are watching God and we're not seeing it. Type ish. But that's all I got for today.